Yeah. So you know what, guys, and if you're one of our customers too, when we talk about the five things that you need to know and you need to actually learn, and something that we teach, we also always teach about how to manage your cash flow, which you
Yeah.
hit, losing control of your finances, which you hit, bad planning or lack of strategy, which you talk in depth into it, weak leadership. I think we beat the horse on that one, and over dependence on few
Yeah.
customers, meaning the sales. You need to become great at sell, continue selling. You only gotta depend on that one or two customers if your pipeline is not full. So what you gotta do, you gotta continue the process.
Yeah.
Those that fell through, you know what? You're not gonna. They're not gonna change your whole process. But you always, one of the big things about sales is you always gotta have a process to follow up. Follow up is one of the big things when it comes to sale, and
For
that's
sure.
always you always gotta do it with customers. And always remember too, when it comes to sale, that the easiest sale is the second sale. And what I mean by that is
For
always
sure.
go back to your customer. Your customer that has already been there with you, that you kept happy, you gave them the process, and that person has success with you, will always buy the second process or the second value or the upsell that you have, because they already have a proven track record with you. Now, man, so I know you work with a lot of businesses over the past 12 years. Like, what industries are the best ones that and you find more enjoyable?
So it's funny, like I've done a lot of life sciences. So some of my clients, and this is all public knowledge, have been Gilead Sciences, Boston Scientific, Alchemies. But I did a lot of work in the media space too. So I've had Verizon as a client, America Online. I've had Discovery Communications, like the Weather Channel. I would say that my favorite one was probably Time Warner, right?
Time
And
Warner?
Time Warner, yes.
Yeah.
So Time Warner, when they were in Times Square, it was actually my very first experience with Times Square.
Oh, nice.
So I came up here. Another funny story. I with actually the friend that gave me the passes last night, encouraged me to go last night. It was his birthday, so I stopped in Philly to celebrate with him. Got up
Nice.
super early to drive from Philly to New York. Got caught in traffic. Ended up having to change my suit in the car in my Camaro on coming to New York, right? And we get there, and they've got this spread. It's just me and my CEO and I, and they got this spread laid out like 20 people were coming. It's just great food, great desserts. And I'm looking around like, who's going to eat all this stuff, right? But it was a pretty big deal. And so I killed it. I absolutely killed it.
Yeah.
They bought the recommendation that we were going with. They added on some more service. And what it did, though, it really kind of showed my CEO that I could be a consultant. And that was how I really kind of got into consulting. And so whenever I think of Time Warner, I always think very, very fondly, because I don't know that I would be a consultant today kind of without them. And I mean, I had to present in there, Carlos. I think I presented for like 5 hours.
Really?
And yeah, 5 hours. It's about probably a 30 to 40 slide deck, right? And we're
Mhm.
talking through like it was kind of it turned it. The great thing about it is, and that's agile, right? You got to be agile and flexible. It went from a kind of selling to a brainstorming session. And we started kind of working through the things in that room, right?
Wow.
And so it was a little bit intense, right? It was very, I had to keep my structure, right? Because they were looking for a certain type of offering.
Yeah.
And it was probably the biggest client that I had gotten kind of in front of just by myself trying to sell
Hmm.
something. We talked about like biz dev and sales, right? And so great deal. And I always think fondly of them. And it's kind of funny how things come full circle, because now I'm back in New York. And so I actually
Wow.
went to Times Square, I think last week and last Saturday, and I thought about them. And so that's probably been my favorite. And I built something really cool for them too. So that's always good. I can't talk about that, but